Let's play with hypnotic phenomena. Hi, I'm Dave Ruby from Hypnosis, and this video is all about the arm levitation. Now, the arm levitation is typically something where the subject or client is placed in a deep hypnotic state or in some kind of trance, and then suggestions are made where that hand will start to, or one of those hands can start to get lighter. And then the hand often, if it works right, the hand will start to get lighter and lighter and it'll start to float up in these kind of cool sort of motions all on its own. And it's a really kind of cool and fascinating experience. This version is actually one that I got from Michael Watson, who's a great trainer and hypnotist in Orlando, Florida. I think I got the city right. He's in Florida. And with this one, it's more of a collaboration between your conscious and your unconscious. Now, this actually is not too far from what happens in real life. So if you're driving, whenever you first start driving, you're more consciously aware of what's going on around you. You're more conscious of like moving the steering wheel and looking at traffic and turn signals and applying pressure to the brakes and the gas. And then over time, the body just kind of takes over. You've learned the habits, you've learned the process of driving a car, and it happens where you don't even consciously have to pay any attention. The body just knows what to do for you. And then, of course, whenever someone slams on the brakes in front of you, or if you have to turn, or something happens that requires your full attention, then you're right there in full conscious awareness, right? Similarly, if you're throwing a ball, kids or friends, or playing frisbee or something, you can consciously throw something to someone else. But then after a while, if you're mindlessly playing catch or something like that, you just kind of make the throws and you don't even have to really be there. You can be thinking about what's for dinner, or what are you doing on the weekend, or whatever's occupying the conscious mind, or you can just kind of zone out. Of course, if you see a ball whooping at your head, then the arms tend to kind of go up and catch it, or block it, or shirk it away, whatever it is. So you can go in and out of conscious and unconscious participation, or relying on one of the two minds more than the other. So the way I like to do this is to offer you one of two choices. If you use this as a change work sort of technique, then you can set some intention. What do you want to improve? That could be anything, really. Whatever you want to improve in your life, or anything you want to work on. If you're a client or a potential client, this can be a great way to kind of bolster the work we do together, or if you use some other hypnotist, that's the same thing. But beyond that, you can also have the intention of just having the experience. You can just set the intention of having a wonderful experience and go as deep into trance as you feel comfortable or feel would be beneficial to do so. So the way to start this, though, is to, before you do anything else, is to rest those hands as lightly as you can on your lap. Sort of like playing a piano, where just the fingertips are touching just barely. And, setting both hands as light as they possibly can, so they're just gracing the top of your lap. Just on the top of the thighs, for instance. And if you're able to and you're comfortable doing so, you can just allow those eyes to just close naturally, or focus on whatever is driving your attention. But if your eyes are closed, or if you're focusing on something, just notice which of those hands can start to feel lighter first. And as you're aware of those hands and noticing which one can begin to feel lighter, notice that the unconscious experience is those hands can feel that way without you being consciously involved. But then first, I'd like you to choose one of those hands, or notice which one's lighter, and lift that hand a fraction of an inch, very slowly. So it's just above the lap. And that's how it feels to use your conscious mind. And now it's your unconscious turn. And just allow the unconscious to allow that hand to perhaps feel lighter, or maybe it just wants to kind of be stuck in space, or do whatever it is that your unconscious would like that arm to do. And that's how your unconscious mind can work. And now with your conscious mind, again, just lift that arm a fraction of an inch, just like a hair of a distance above the lap. And when you give your unconscious a turn, perhaps noticing the sensations in that arm and how it can almost feel like it's a part of, yet apart from the rest of the body. And giving the unconscious mind a chance to perhaps allow that arm to feel lighter, or perhaps to feel different sensations in that part of the body. And there's no right way or wrong way to just allow your unconscious now to allow that arm to feel however it wants to feel. And that can be lighter, or perhaps wooden and stuck, or perhaps something unique to you and your experience now. And you give your conscious mind a turn to lift that hand again, just the smallest of a fraction of an inch higher. So it's just kind of floating there in space. And perhaps noticing even more as that hand can feel that change of sensation inside. And as you're aware of that change of sensation, you can then give the unconscious another chance to have a turn, allowing that hand to change in sensations inside and around that hand. Perhaps feeling even lighter, or perhaps feeling a drawing upward. And I'm not sure if that might feel like it's being lifted by strings, or perhaps a cloud lifting it up more now. Or perhaps you can just notice that change of sensation in whatever way is right for you now. And as that hand is there, again, both a part of and yet apart from that body, you can notice the space around that hand and the space between those fingers and the space between your observations. And just allow your unconscious mind to begin to take you into whatever sort of comfortable state or process is right for you in this exercise. And if you're comfortable now, I'd like to invite your unconscious to allow that hand to start to get heavier, and perhaps beginning to sink only to the extent that you can begin to make those internal changes for whatever brought you here today. And that can be to make a change inside, or even just to go deeper inside the experience of having the experience. And your unconscious knows what that means is right for you. You can allow that hand to continue to drop, or drift, or sink even deeper as your unconscious processes inside all the things that are appropriate for what you would enjoy to get out of this experience now, or perhaps as you're going through life. And as that hand continues to sink, or perhaps it's already started to touch down on the lap, or perhaps you've lost full awareness of what that hand's doing, it's really of no consequence. It's just more about having the experience that something might be different. And just another invitation to go as deep into the experience as you're feeling comfortable with now. and just allowing your unconscious mind to make whatever changes or to give you whatever experience you would enjoy now. Just going as deep as you'd like to in this moment. And then taking all the time you need, you can begin to come back to that body and take 1 or 2 or 3 deep breaths, feeling wonderful because why not? And as you're fully back in that body, you can shake off that old experience whenever is appropriate for you. And whenever you're ready, you can come back to full awareness. Again, feeling as wonderful as you like to, because why not? And I'd like to invite you to notice what positive shifts may take place, perhaps in the immediate future or perhaps over time. And I'd invite you to use this, to play with this as a way of getting more rapport with your conscious mind, or between your conscious mind and your unconscious mind. And also it's a great way to make some great changes and use as change work for a regular part of your life. But if you have any questions or comments or suggestions for future videos, then please leave them in the comments below, and thanks for your time. Take care.